What is up? How's it going? Welcome, welcome. BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, crypto community, Blue Crew, and all the communities out there. Guys, welcome to another DLTalk. Appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to the Blue Crew. Much love to y'all. Guys, I'm not a professional trader, not a financial advisor, and I'll never tell you what to do. Let me know if the sound is all loud and clear. Let me know how the internet quality is and everything else, you guys. I appreciate your support tremendously. Ralph Cooper, daughter's first day of school. Cheers to you, my man. I'm happy for you. Mr. Razul, salutations. The joy of parenting, 4:25 a.m. Good morning, Vietnam. What's up, man? That's awesome, dude. I mean, happy you can join us. Appreciate your support as always. So, guys, it looks like BTC's having a hard time trying to break through that 50K barrier. We've already tested it a few times. I'm kind of worried about what BTC may do in the next step. Just a couple of concerns, in my own opinion, of what could possibly be going on with BTC if it's getting rejected multiple times at 50K. But it's been a battle. We'll see. Maybe it gets a nice, strong momentum behind it, and we start surging past 50K, going into 60K, 70K. That would be lovely to see, and that would mean just tremendous things for the altcoin market, because we know where BTC goes, the market tends to follow, at least in this traditional financial system, at least in this Wild West phase of crypto that we are in. Darcy in the house. What is up, Darcy? Guys, thanks for the 4 viewers and the 7 likes. Thanks for letting the YouTube algos know we're hanging out with the Blue Crew here and having a good time. We got XRP at $1.08 now, which is nice. It looks pretty good at that price range, to tell you the truth. I really like XRP at around this range. And perfect timing coming in from Bones TEP, my man, Bones TEP. I gotta pump it up with you, man. Appreciate your support as always, my dude. You're amazing, Bones TEP. Let me pump it up with you, my man. Yeah. Oh, look, check out my guns. I'm trying to flex right here. Yeah, he's got the eye of the tiger. Bones TEP, you're awesome, my man. Thank you so much for your support, as always, to this channel. It means the world, man. You're just amazing, dude. Thank you, Bones TEP. Highly valued Blue Crew member right here, my man. He's going to probably be getting a green wrench in the future. Can't wait till we hit 3K. We'll start doing green wrenches, so we'll have the Blue Crew and the green team doing their thing. Fun times ahead. Guys, I'm liking VeChain. I think if it gets close to 10 cents, that's going to be a really nice buy area, but I think right here is really nice for VeChain, especially with some of the news that we have today for VeChain. This is what we like. We like hearing some positive news about these projects, and it's like pretty big positive news, and then they're still in a red day. That is just awesome to be able to encounter that. Atom at 1808. Sad to see Atom at such a low price range, back under the $20 range, but I am excited for the future of Cosmos. Still holding strong, still holding Tezos strong, still holding Algo strong, and guys, a big winner in the past 24 hours. You guys know one of our darlings in the Greg Kidd portfolio, Cody, back at 40 cents, you guys. Let's see if Cody can go back to 50 and maybe break all-time highs. That would be tremendous, certainly. Here, let me just check up with the Blue Crew, see if the quality and everything's going well. If it weren't for crypto YouTubers, many of us wouldn't be here. Interesting, Bones TEP. Very interesting. I mean, the crypto YouTube is a lot of fun for sure. I mean, most of the people I follow are crypto YouTubers as well, just to keep up with news, and I just love crypto, right? Drinking a little bit of hot coffee. Good morning to everybody. So guys, I've been using, before we get into the news, let me give you a preview of it, but we're going to be talking about some other things too. We got why central banks are pushing digital currencies. This is a two-parter. We got VeChain launches blockchain platform to encourage carbon data reporting. We got Microsoft wins U.S. patent for ledger independent token service. And we got U.S. Air Force prioritizes blockchain security with new Constellation Network contract. So big news coming out for VeChain and Constellation Network. Let's see where DAG is at. Yeah, DAG definitely responding to the news pretty well in the past 7 days, 139%. DAG has just been moonshotting. My gosh, the opportunity. This, to me, is very frightening, though. As much as I love DAG and Constellation, I'm even considering, as a DAG holder, possibly having to take profits around here. Not selling my whole bag, but selling a pretty significant portion because this has gone up in such a short span of time from 0.008 to 4 cents, and then next thing you know, in the span of 2 to 3 months, just a straight line up towards the upside. You guys know we don't like to chase pumps. And when we start seeing it more and more in a straight line, like in this direction, it sounds like a pretty good time to be taking some profits. But that's just me. And once again, I'm not telling you guys what to do, but I'm definitely considering taking a little bit off the table and at least playing with the house money at this point with DAG, just because that is some tremendous gains. We're to half a freaking dollar for DAG. I love the project. I think it's going to be a tremendous thing with what they're doing with Layer 0. But for it to be already at that price range in such a short span of time, definitely, gives me some concerns. PAC going up a full 0.001 as of yesterday. Good gains for PAC. XYO at a penny now, making a home at a penny range. Pretty crazy stuff right there. Let me set up some more music and let's start talking some crypto. Here we go. Guys, appreciate the Blue Crew tuning in. As always, you guys are amazing. Yeah, I hear you, Dual Citizen. DAG and QNT, those are ones that, yeah, you don't want to be chasing those pumps, in my opinion. Dual Citizen, yep, what's up, my man? We got the eye of the tiger, just like the Blue Crew. J-Roy saying, what is up with Bearable Bull saying XRP is deemed a security? I don't really keep up with Bearable Bull, but maybe it might be a misunderstanding of a speculation of how it could be deemed as a security, and then maybe down the line, getting closer to the shift to ISO 20022. Or during the coexistence period of ISO 20022 migration, XRP and regulatory clarity, or, because we know something could be deemed a security and then eventually evolve to not be a security, right? So what if XRP was deemed a security as the next hurdle, the next major FUD towards the XRP community to get people to let go of their XRP? Well, we can look at EOS. EOS has been declared a security. And EOS seems to do pretty well in terms of price action, and there's really good long-term speculation for it that it could evolve to not being a security down the line, which would be tremendous for that platform, obviously. But same thing with XRP. So if the next mind, trick or mind game is to label XRP as security, but still not have very clear regulatory clarity, XRP could still evolve to potentially being not a security over time, right? And I already think maybe XRP at the beginning was, and now has evolved to not be a security. But that's neither here nor there. Gotta love internet node token back in the penny range. That's good to see. It went down about 32%. I mean, this is what you're going to be dealing with low cap coins. is really high volatility. So internet node token now getting back to that range of possibly under a penny it may go to, or stick around this 1 penny and 6 range, make a home right here, and then we're talking about higher gains from there. Guys, Hydro, keep an eye out for Hydro. Something's bubbling with this crypto again. And remember, they have a significantly lower supply, but it's starting to look like they're ready to turn a corner, and I can really see maybe a possible pump coming soon for Hydro. So, you know, maybe up to like 4 cents, 5 cent range. That would be tremendous. And, you know, significantly lower supply now for Hydro. I think it's a tremendous value for where it's at. If you look back at the year of cryptos, the amount of percentage gains in the past year, as of today at least, Hydro is at 8,247% with a very minimal market cap. Dogecoin is at 8,000%, right? Telcoin, Luna, Matic. I mean, Hydro's a name with pretty good company right there. Doge, Tel, Luna, Matic, Chiliz, Cardano, BNB, PAC, Sol, DAG. I mean, the bluecrew's list is pretty beast. I'll have to say this could be just a product of it being the bluecrew list here. But damn, if you've been following this channel over the past year and you're invested in any of these cryptos that are on here, how do you not have gains right now? How do you not have gains? And I'm not saying, you know, it's because of this channel or anything, because there's a lot of crypto YouTubers out there and a lot of awareness. But just saying, if you're in the crypto space and you've been in it for the past year or so, year and a half, how are you not in gains? You must have, you know, if you're not in gains, you might have just been playing mind games with yourself and selling when it's red and buying when it's green all the time, right? But anyways, been enjoying using Yieldly, Algorand's, you know, AMM so far. It's been pretty awesome. I finally got my first reward of Yieldly, and now I'm going to stake that to earn some Algo and Yieldly, and then just keep the cycle going. Same thing with CoinSwap. Been enjoying using CoinSwap and getting Atom Iris pairs. Pretty good APY on there. It's not the best, but, you know, for having DeFi with Iris, and Iris has got some good news from our Twitter section today that we're going to look over as well. Iris getting into the NFT space, you guys. Love that we were able to find this project early before these developments started happening, and possibly some attention starts being brought to that platform. G Money in the house. What's up, G Money? Shout out to G Money, my man. I know G Money's making some good gains. I know he's made some pretty good gains off of Tezos and possibly Solana and some other good cryptos out there. My man, G Money, thanks for the $10 donation. Bones TEP and G Money, you're like the freaking constant supporters, man. I appreciate you guys so much, and the people who tune into the chats as well and, you know, participate in the chats. Your participation is amazing, and, you know, just thanks for keeping this channel alive and doing what you guys do, doing what the Blue Crew does for this channel. Much love to y'all. And then another one that's been pretty fun is using Plenty. Been enjoying using the Plenty USDC LP. I'm going to consider jumping into this Plenty W Link LP, because if you look at the wrapped link and Plenty liquidity pool percentage here, if it loads up, let's see if it does. It's a crazy APY for having, you know, a Plenty W Link LP. It was in like the APR was like in the 3,000s or something like that. I'm like, okay, that's insane. That's insane DeFi opportunity. So I'm liking Tezos' DeFi as well. Guys, we're all about these type of DeFi platforms that allow for fast, frictionless, very cheap transactions. Most importantly, cheap transactions. Secure platforms built on the actual blockchain, supported by the blockchain foundations themselves. So things like Yieldly, supported by Algorand Foundation. That's why we like this platform. Things like Flare Finance, supported by Flare Networks. Well, not directly connected with Flare Networks, but Flare Networks does, you know, support what Flare Finance is doing. And then, you know, what's going on with Osmosis Zone for the Cosmos ecosystem. Loving staking anything on the Kepler wallet. I understand some people have been having maybe some trouble trying to provide liquidity in the Osmosis Zone just get used to using the platform, use it over and over again. Try to maybe use a little less of what you're trying to provide liquidity for. Maybe try to have a more even balance between the two assets or few assets, depending on what you're trying to do in those liquidity pools. Make sure you have a pretty, even divide between those two, and then have a little bit left over for possible fees, low transaction fee. You just got to experiment with Osmosis Zone, and then you'll get the hang of it. It should be, as you use it more and more, it should be very seamless and smooth to use the Osmosis Zone. But yeah, trying to figure out how to provide liquidity is a little bit of a thing to some users. But once you start figuring out what you got to do, whether it's setting a higher gas rate or making the swaps a little bit more even, or using a little less of each of the two things you're trying to provide liquidity for. But it does become a little bit of a thing, so sorry to hear about that confusion, you guys, but I think Osmosis Zone is still a very, very good AMM. And, I had to deal with that stuff early on as well, but I figured it out, and now it's just like a very smooth type of experience to provide liquidity to liquidity pools and to be staking the Osmo token. It's crazy to see how quickly Gary turned to the dark side. Dual citizen, Gary's not part of the dark side, my man. It's all part of a show. Don't get lost in the emotional roller coaster of what the SEC Ripple case is telling you, my dude. Don't get lost in it, man. I mean, do what you like to do, but I would highly suggest just zoom out. SEC wants Ripple to win. SEC wants to work with the distributed ledger technology that wants to work with governments and banks and central banks and regulators and educate regulators. This company, Ripple, has gone across the whole world educating Ripple regulators like the Monetary Authority of Singapore, like the FCA. Hell, the Department of Justice and FinCEN don't see XRP as a security. SEC is going to see in line with these other regulators. And if they F up and maybe, as part of the show, deem XRP a security, which I don't see it happening, but if it does, we know down the line XRP could evolve to not being a security. And it doesn't seem to matter whether crypto is a security or not in this space, because we're in the Wild West and speculation still runs rampant on cryptos that are securities like Celsius, like EOS, and others to name, that I can't really name. But so let's not get lost in the emotional roller coaster of the show of Ripple and SEC. I even did a post about it yesterday. This is what is happening. Let me see. Right now, people think of the SEC versus Ripple like a Rocky fight. It's just this great battle between Ripple and the SEC. But really, SEC and Ripple think of people like this. We've got them. What we're doing is working. They're buying our little show that we're doing. They're believing our acting. Our acting is so damn good. They're believing it. Ripple versus SEC is a whole show. Meanwhile, when you're looking at the right hand and seeing Ripple versus SEC, on the left hand is this. BIS and Swift announce winners of ISO 20022 hackathon, Mojaloop. Mojaloop won for its use of ISO 20022 to bridge the last mile and bring cross-border payments to users in emerging market economies who rely on mobile money transfers. Mojaloop is comprised of Ripple, right? Ripple is proud to continue to collaborate with fellow Mojaloop Foundation sponsor members. Ripple being one of them, Coil being another, Bill and Melinda Gates being another, Rockefeller Foundation being another, Dwala being another, Monetary Authority of Singapore being another. So while we're getting lost in the show of Ripple versus the SEC, oh my God, what's going to be happening? What if it's called a security? What if it's this? And zooming in on that and just having a microscope every single day on that. There's a lot of people who can really cover that. We don't try to cover it too much here because there's already a lot of people who talk about Ripple and SEC and really dissect it very well, that we'll do our due diligence and go in the other direction and see what the left hand is doing. What is Mojaloop doing? Looks like they're winning, right? Looks like they're using ISO 20022 at its best capabilities with Interledger Protocol. So Ripple's got a little team dealing with the SEC and Ripple lawsuit, but they're so big that they're making partnerships, unleashing ODL corridors, so many other things that are happening. This is going to be, what we know is that maybe possible there might be the possibility that XRP might be the only regulatory crypto or crypto that has regulatory clarity at the end of this. And that would be insane if XRP was the only one that had regulatory clarity, and then thus the only one that enterprises would feel comfortable investing in because they know it has regulatory clarity, thus giving XRP a significant first mover advantage in the transition over to the new quantum financial system. And that would be the real first mover advantage, the first mover advantage towards mass adoption of digital assets. So we're not worried at all about Ripple versus SEC. It's all a show. Enjoy it. You want to get pissed off at Gary? He's doing his part. He's making you buy into the emotional roller coaster and hate him. It's like watching an antagonist in a movie. You're just like, dang it, I hate that guy so much. That means the writers did a good job. The director did a good job. The actor performing it did a good job. All parts involved. Sold you. All of that is speculation and takes nothing away from Gary's worm-eating proclivities. Yeah, Alchemist, I hear you, my man. You love the mouth. Should have put it all on Xumm. Yep, ISO 20022 is the key. I heard ETN is affiliated with Quant and Ripple. Is this true? Anyone know anything else? Mr. Razul, if you got a link saying that, let me know. But I definitely know ETN is definitely undervalued and something we've kind of called, attention to for the Blue Crew with Electroneum. It's an eco-friendly type of crypto. Been seeing it win some hackathons that are pretty reputable in terms of being an eco-friendly crypto solution. So ETN, Electroneum, is definitely a sleeper to look out for, without a doubt. And I've also heard about just Electroneum from random people in my life. Like, a lot of people that I meet and talk to don't even know what, crypto really is, or Bitcoin really is, or Doge, or anything like that. But then some random people I would meet be like, Electroneum. And I'm like, what the heck? Okay. Gotta look into Electroneum, without a doubt. No doubt. Give me a second, you guys. Sorry, guys. Alright, let me reset this camera. Okay, let's get the music back on. Alright. Yeah, we got the eye of the tiger, that's for sure. So let's start jumping into our first piece of news, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for hanging out, y'all. So why central banks are pushing digital currencies. In the first of two-part series, Kim Engman explores why suddenly there is a new frontier in payments to central banks called central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. Money as we know it is in transition. Banknotes and coins are no longer accepted by many merchants. Digital money cross-platforms and newly created private currencies have emerged. Central banks around the world have not been standing idly by, with a plethora of alternative money forms are moving into the currency space. Increasingly, the commitment to exploring and pursuing the potentials or opportunities that a digital, interlinked, networked society affords them, even where money production is concerned. The cashless society, the transition of money can be witnessed in the Nordic countries, where we are moving rapidly towards a cashless society. The Cash Countdown, Copenhagen Business School, and Sweden's KTH Royal Institute of Technology estimate in research paper commissioned that Swedish Retail and Wholesale Council by 2025 and 2027, cash will no longer be in wide use. The paper even sets a date by when cash will no longer be feasible for merchants as a means of payment, March 24th, 2023. And we are most likely going to be transitioning more and more over to that ISO 20022 standard. Remember, there's a coexistence period after the Big Bang migration in the end of 2022, or at least we speculate end of 2022. Could be end of this year, but we're going to go with their word in the delay of it being end of 2022. And then we're going to be having a coexistence period up until 2027, 2025, So it makes sense in line with what's going on here in these European countries in terms of going cashless. Reliance on the private sector escalates. With open banking, instant payment solutions, and alternative means of payments popping up, the complexity for lawmakers as well as central and commercial banks, businesses, and consumers is increasing. Add this to the mix, private and mostly unregulated digital money such as Bitcoin and Ethereum often label cryptocurrencies and stablecoins like Facebook's Diem, and it's easy to see how complexities quickly escalate. As cash usage decreases, the reliance on the stability of commercial banks combined with the solid system of regulation is imperative within the financial sector and the various payment rails built on top of this, for example, Visa and MasterCard and domestic cards. Noteworthy is that upwards 97% of money is actually produced by commercial banks by extending loans and credits to consumers and businesses, making the banks systemic in a societal context. However, even with the most stringent regulations and legislation in place, commercially generated money sitting in the bank accounts and their concurrent worth will never be 100% guaranteed for account holders. Only cash comes with the guarantee, as it is a direct claim from a central bank. Case in point, within the Eurozone, deposits over 100,000 or 100 euro will be lost, or 100,000 euro will be lost should a commercial bank default. The road to Cash 2.0. So why do central banks want digital currencies? Well, commonly central banks are required to ensure financial stability, stable prices, and safe and efficient payments, i.e. supply cash and regulate wholesale and retail digital payments. Coined by the Bank of England in 2016, Cash 2.0, this new form of money is called CBDCs. In a 2020 discussion paper, the Bank of England also listed that seems to be 7 primary reasons the central banks are pursuing CBDCs, diminishing cash usage being one of them, right? So then we go to the second part of this article. Give me a sec. The implications of central bank digital currencies for everyday users and banks. As an abundance of private and alternative forms of money are moving into the currency space, central and commercial banks are being forced to reconsider their position in this, the second of a two-part series. Inspired by so-called cryptocurrencies and stablecoins, and building on the development of open banking, instant and mobile payments, and private alternatives to money, central banks are looking to create Cash 2.0. Most central banks are advancing CBDCs. Central banks, representing close to 90% of the world's GDP, are either researching, piloting, or developing a CBDC. In fact, the Bahamas has already launched theirs, the so-called sand dollar. And the central banks of the 3 major currencies of the world, US dollar, euro, and China's renminbi, are actively pursuing a CBDC. China seems poised for a 2022 launch coinciding with the Beijing Winter Olympics. Live pilots are ongoing with millions of users. The US Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell has deemed a digital dollar a high priority, and the European Central Bank has just started a 2-year digital euro project, paving the way for possible 2025 launch. In our own neighborhood for the past few years, and the central banks of Norway and Sweden, Norges Bank and Riksbanken, respectively, have been publishing thoughtful, detailed reports on high-level decision choices of CBDCs. Norges Bank will embark on a 2-year pilot project, and the Swedish Riksbank has since 2019 been carrying out an e-krona pilot, which my company, Tieto Every, is actively taking part in. So for Cash 2.0 smart money, being digital, CBDCs inherently have the potential to be much more than just a means of payment. Central banks, by the way of design of digital currency, have the option to both consider how CBDCs are funneled into the economy as well as their traits and features. Depending on the design choices, commercial banks, consumers, businesses, and the economy may be greatly affected. Key questions need to be addressed, such as should a CBDC be interest-bearing? How are virtual bank runs mitigated, and what will be the impact on monetary policy? Unlike today's cash, which is distributed via licensed banks, central banks could also choose to distribute CBDCs by way of new intermediaries. Ripple. They could also choose to make CBDCs programmable and limit individual CBDC usage to specific situations, type of goods, and services. Additionally, choices must be made on how to balance anonymity and privacy. So then, for instance, whether it should be possible to track CBDCs with different thresholds or privacy anonymity dependent on transaction amount, like the People's Bank of China is considering. Equally important, central banks need to consider if they will require all users of CBDCs to have an account with the central bank, or whether they wish to emulate today's banknotes and coins, where users can share cash between themselves with little oversight. It is a choice between an account-based or value token-based CBDC. The future of commercial banks. Given the many CBDC design options open to central banks, commercial banks must be proactive and engaged. I have noticed a change in attitude amongst banks and banking associations from hesitancy a few years ago to more inquisitive attitude today. Due to the systemic nature of commercial banks, the central banks are also keen to listen to the financial sector. CBDCs will undoubtedly be a partnership between central banks, government, and the financial sector, as well as consumers and businesses. So then what about users? Speaking of consumers and businesses, CBDCs are being driven by central banks and not demanded by consumers or businesses, even though CBDCs would be a claim on the central bank and thus guaranteed users not see an upgrade from the digital money they have today. If one were to ask the average consumer, most would say that the money in their bank accounts is agreed digital and perfectly easy and secure to use by way of cards or mobile phones. Central banks will need to motivate and explain CBDC to the general public, and likely need to ensure CBDC usage by way of both push and pull effects. Examples: CBDCs could maybe be pushed into the economy by governments mandating public payments or payouts for businesses and consumers alike, or perhaps a pull effect could be if businesses were to prefer instant and maybe cheaper payments in CBDCs, and push by requiring CBDC payments of their suppliers as well as customers. Very interesting, man. Good little overview of CBDCs right here from the senior director, Kim Engman. Looking forward to seeing more and more about the development of CBDCs, but just right here, you guys, we just have such a world of options of what CBDCs could actually be providing, how they could actually be implemented at scale. And once again, just a reminder of how early we really are in this crypto space, how early we are in just testing and piloting these CBDCs. But hell, right here with China's yuan, looking for the Winter Olympics to be a launch for its CBDC. Very interested to see if that's going to be happening. And, obviously, the closer we get to the event, the closer we probably are to the launch of a central bank digital currency by one of these major four fiat liquidity providers like the yuan, US dollar, and the euro. Let me catch up with the chat really quick. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me go back to the charts here. Why is HBAR CBDC? I thought it was Ripple. M. Alvarado, it's probably going to be a lot, man. There's going to probably be quant CBDCs, perhaps. I mean, we don't know yet, dude. It's such early freaking days, right? You got the USDC from Circle Pay trying to be the US dollars CBDC, perhaps, right? And what they're building with Ethereum, Solana, XLM, Kava, you name it, all the other cryptos that are attached to the USDC. Why wouldn't Solana be facilitating CBDCs? Why wouldn't XDC? Why wouldn't XLM? Why wouldn't, there's a lot of platforms that can possibly be, partners up or, collaborators with these CBDCs. Maybe all of them collaborating together to be supporting these CBDCs on multiple platforms. Brune Greco, what's up, my man? Good to see you. Oriole in the house. What's up, Oriole? Good to see you. We got Notorious XRP in the house. What's up, Notorious XRP? Shout out to Notorious XRP. If you guys don't know of his channel, he's a legend. Go check him out. Most entertaining crypto videos on YouTube. Alright, so what else do we got here? I'm liking Chainlink at 24 cents. Or $24, man. I wish it was 24 cents. Definitely a nice little sideways red day in the crypto space, without a doubt. But let's keep our eyes on the prize, guys. Let's get to the next piece of news here. Appreciate you all tuning in. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the 20 likes and the 17 viewers. We got the eye of the tiger, and we're going to keep our eyes on the news for sure. VeChain launches blockchain platform to encourage carbon data reporting. VeChain has announced a new blockchain initiative designed to help businesses openly track and report their carbon emissions data. Supply chain management platform VeChain has announced a new service for combining businesses to overhaul their carbon footprint data management practices. The new service, detailed in Medium post on Thursday, combines decentralized ledger technology with the software as a service business model. The digital carbon footprint SaaS service allows enterprise users to log key data and integrate it with world-leading third-party assurance providers within VeChain's partnership network. This data can be then later transformed into new kinds of value and improved sustainability performance across the entirety of an organization. In the announcement, VeChain cited obstacles with trust and transparency in traditional supply chains with collating companies' carbon emissions data. A public blockchain solves this problem, providing transparent accountability for all layers of supply chain network. VeChain's blockchain-based digital carbon footprint SaaS service provides a comprehensive and scalable platform for any enterprise to be able to better calculate, track, and report their carbon reduction initiatives across the entire value chain. Alexander Gellert, Associate Program Officer at the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, recently noted that blockchain can contribute to greater stakeholder involvement, transparency, and engagement, and help bring trust and further innovative solutions to fight against climate change, leading to enhanced climate action. As the globe's largest producer of carbon emissions, China has an instrumental role to play in advancing technologies of tomorrow to support international climate treaties, such as the Paris Climate Agreement. Chinese President Xi Jinping's recent 5-year plan, the 14th of its kind, outlined an aggressive effort to move the world's largest economy onto a low-carbon trajectory with goals to peak emission output before 2030, as well as achieve carbon neutrality before the year 2060. So, yeah, that's going to be a hell of a long-term goal. I'm probably not going to be here by that time, but who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we will. Over the past year, China has diligently devolved as a major player in the cryptocurrency industry, implementing a host of regulatory policies from trading activity to Bitcoin mining that aims to curtail the influence of the market on its population. Following the crackdown on BTC mining, the province was able to capitalize on the colossal 50 terawatt hours of electricity to pursue climate-centric initiatives such as installing 38,000 electric vehicle charging points by 2023. Beijing is also following a similar route, aiming for 60% of its country's vehicles to be powered by non-fossil fuels by 2030. On the basis of projections, this beats the United States targets of 50%. So guys, I think this is tremendous news coming out for the VeChain Foundation. Great to see. We've already known they've been an eco-friendly focused type of crypto for some time too, going back even into its early days. Seeing VeChain trying to be creating just better solutions of blockchain technology, and obviously trying to limit their carbon footprint and also limit the carbon footprint of businesses that are associated with them as well through the use of their distributed ledger technology. So I think this is really great news coming out for VeChain, and just any time where VeChain has just been kind of so quiet for some time that it's good to start seeing a little bit of rumblings coming from the VeChain camp. I'm very excited for the future of VeChain, and right now is a wonderful day, especially with this news that has been released. They sold the news, I guess, for VeChain or something, or it could just be the whole market going down together and the immaturity of this space. But an 11 cent, 10 cent VeChain opportunity right here with this piece of news coming out, I think it's a no-brainer in my opinion. But once again, I'll never tell you guys what to do, but very excited for VeChain, its future, VeThor as well, the VeChain crypto ecosystem. VET has been sleeping for a good bit. It's good to hear some rumblings. Good to hear it waking up a little bit in terms of its marketing push. Today I invest in Durace. I think she pumped like Axie Infinity. Alright, let me check out D-Race. Alright, we'll keep an eye out on this one. Oh, we also added Yieldly from the algo system. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's in here somewhere. I know it. I just added it to the list. I think in the past 24 hours it's been doing good, or the past 30 days, so give me a sec. Let me try to find it again. I forgot what its abbreviation is, so I can't really search it. It is what it is. And yeah, I think it's just I think it's just that. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I did add it to the list. They took it off, I suppose. But yeah, with the 10 billion total supply at 2 cents right now, all-time high at 2.8 cents, up 40% in the past 7 days. So I don't know if I'd be chasing this pump, but you know, very excited for what the future could be coming for Yieldly, especially with it being, you know, the only DeFi platform on the Algorand ecosystem. I think it has a pretty small market cap. I mean, pretty big market cap considering how early it is, and you know, it got launched this year. But excited for the Algorand ecosystem and that Yieldly token. I'll definitely be keeping you guys up to date with what's going on with that platform and seeing how the percentage returns are. That's for sure. 432 hertz, Unreal, you leveled up your stats. Oh yeah, guys, shout out to Love Live Heal. I think coming out with a new video today, or already came out with a new video. But shout out to Love Live Heal, awesome YouTube channel as well. What's my opinion on Iris? I mean, I like Iris long term. I'm a very long term holder of Iris, so been enjoying using CoinSwap and getting passive Iris and stacking on top of my Iris and just staking and staking, compounding the interest over time. I'm really excited for the long-term capabilities of this project. You guys know I did a deep dive on this. It's part of my long-term hodl portfolio, and I'm just keeping my eyes out on it. So I feel like we are, with what's going on here in terms of Iris, I think we're getting close to possibly a retracement coming down go down to possibly 9 cents or 8 cents and then get our bounce up. And hopefully we get to ascend to a really nice high at around 20 cents or so. That would be great to get that double of the 10-cent range right here. But such early days, such a low market cap too, surprisingly. Very surprising, man. Yep, there you go, Bruno Greco. You got it, man. All is atom. Yo, Bruno Greco, man, I might have to de-wrench you if you keep spamming like that, dude. Don't spam the chat like that, my man. Please don't. You don't need to say it more than once, man. If you do that again, I'll have to de-wrench you, my man. Just saying. And then I'll let the Blue Crew decide what to do with you. And if they decide that you've been behaving well and that you should get your wrench back, I'll give you your wrench back. But anyways, let's go into the next piece of news, guys. We got a couple more pieces. We got Microsoft wins U.S. patent for Ledger Independent Token Service. U.S. Air Force prioritizes blockchain security with new Constellation Network contract. I'm looking forward to that one. So let's jump into this one really quick. Microsoft wins U.S. patent for Ledger Independent Token Service. Microsoft's new device is designed to allow developers to write code for managing tokens in a manner that is blockchain agnostic. American tech giant Microsoft has won a blockchain-related patent for techniques for implementing a cross-chain token management system. The United States Patent and Trademark Office granted the patent to Microsoft's subsidiary Microsoft Technology Licensing on Tuesday. Filed in February 2019, the patent describes a Ledger Independent Token Service, or a software service enabling individuals and organizations to create and manage tokens across multiple distributed ledger networks and platforms. Examples of such platforms in the patent filing include major blockchain platform Ethereum, IBM-backed Hyperledger Fabric, JP Morgan's enterprise blockchain platform Quorum, R3, and ChainCore. Great stuff. The described computer system aims to provide the user with one of the more token templates, with each of those corresponding to a type of physical or digital asset. The Ledger Independent Token Service is designed to act as a single interface for managing the lifecycle of tokens across multiple blockchains, allowing developers to write codes for transacting and managing tokens in a manner that is agnostic of the underlying distributed ledger networks. According to the patent's authors, and the described system makes development more efficient for emerging businesses use cases that involve crossing ledger boundaries. Microsoft has been actively involved in the blockchain-related development in recent years. filing a wide number of patent applications related to cryptocurrency industry. Last year, the tech giant filed a patent on the cryptocurrency system, enabling individuals to mine crypto using their body activity data in an effort to remove the need for specialized mining devices. Guys, great news coming out from the Microsoft cap here, having a little bit of a window of how heavily involved just one of these institutions, like Microsoft, has been getting into the crypto space, and now with this patent enabling them to have like an independent ledger tokenized service to keep track of all these multiple tokens on multiple ledgers, having a very currency agnostic perspective. I wonder if there's going to be some involvement possibly with interledger protocol through this patent, and definitely looking forward to seeing more developments of how this is going to grow from here now that they have been granted the patent, and looks like Microsoft's definitely trying to set itself up for some big things in the cryptocurrency industry. Looking forward to seeing what's going to be happening there. Yeah, D-Race, I got you. Or Dorace. I don't know how to say it. The tiger looks so serious that sometimes the tiger freezes up because if I turn my head, the facial recognition technology like makes him snap back. Serious cat do serious things. Yeah. Alex D Vlogs, what's up, my man? Tonight, my dude. Guys, shout out to Alex D Vlogs' YouTube channel. If you guys don't know about Alex D Vlogs, highly recommend checking him out. Awesome live streams as always. Always a great perspective for the XRP community. Just an OG in the XRP space, in the XRP community. Shout out to Alex D Vlogs. And he knows what I mean when I say tonight. Still XRP, my dude. Buy XRP, hodl XRP, still XRP. U.S. Air Force prioritizes blockchain security with new Constellation Network contract. This contract opens the door to bigger, more critical uses of blockchain for data protection in a global digital infrastructure, bringing forth the true promises of core technology, said Benjamin Diggles. That's a hilarious last name. A blockchain-based initiative from the United States Air Force will employ Constellation's hypergraph network to provide data security with the Department of Defense's commercial partners. In a Thursday announcement, Constellation said it has been working with Konami Software Corporation to develop an end-to-end data security solution using blockchain encryption and distributed data management for United States Transportation Command, Air Mobility Command 618th Air Operations Center, and a Civil Reserve Air Fleet partner. According to the platform, its goal is to securely exchange data with the commercial partners on missions involving operations of aircraft and ships under contract to the Department of Defense, or DoD. The United States Transportation Command, or USTRANSCOM, also allows authorities, including those in the 618, to coordinate missions using available resources from both the military and private sector. Constellation's network solutions may have the potential to improve the existing cybersecurity and general effectiveness. In the last few years, blockchain technology has become very attractive to enterprise organizations, with its promise to deliver more efficiency and security for numerous use cases, including supply chain management, said Constellation co-founder and chief strategy officer Benjamin Diggles. The contract opens the door to bigger, more critical uses of blockchain and data protection in a global digital infrastructure, bringing forth the true promises of core technology. The Civil Reserve Air Fleet partner, as well as DoD agencies, have stakeholders in Constellation's native token DAG, which will be used to secure bandwidth on its network rather than the Hypertext Transfer Protocol, or HTTP, in place as a security solution for many companies and government agencies. Constellation will provide its Hypergraph Transfer Protocol, or HGTP. One of the U.S. Air Force's first contracts with Constellation 2019 seemed to be more focused on data management. The military branch said at the time that the partnership was an attempt to speed up the experience, broaden the pool of potential applicants, and decrease bureaucratic overhead. So great news coming out for the DAG community out there and the growth of the Constellation network, and just seeing more activity now coming from its partnership with the U.S. Air Force. We were aware of the U.S. Air Force partnership or collaboration in 2019, and just good to see steps being made, steps, forward for this layer 0 network that Constellation DAG is trying to create. And they have some major connections to other blockchain companies in the space. I'm very excited to see the growth of DAG. Definitely holding my DAG for the long term. I mean, right now it has had a tremendous boost in price. But man, if DAG were to get to $1 or something, I think I would be like, you know, everybody's got their prices and their goals. But I did not expect DAG to just be moonshotting as hard as it has been. So it's very interesting times right now being a DAG holder who's been in since 2018 or 2019, and what to do at this point. Are we just going to be going for more tremendous highs? Is DAG only just getting started in its moonshots? I'd like to hear from what, you know, the Blue Crew thinks. So, you know, leave a comment or anything in the chat. But, you know, appreciate you guys. FOMO into DAG. We don't chase pumps. We don't chase pumps. Luckily, we've already been holding DAG. XRP OG. What's up, my man? Love Live Heals, like I can't look at GDLT anymore. He's a freaking tiger, dude. How the hell did this guy become a tiger all of a sudden? Like, what happened? It was a crazy weekend. That's all I gotta say. Somebody spiked the punch. Rising up, back on the street. Rising up, back on the street. Did my time. Took my chances, went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rivals. We got the eye of the tiger. We're having a good time with the Blue Crew. Much love to y'all. You guys are awesome, man. Speaking of the eye of the tiger, people think SEC v Ripple is this, but really SEC v Ripple think of people like this. We got them. They're buying into our story. They're so emotional over it. They don't know what to think. Some are selling their XRP. This is great. Good stuff. Oh, Securitized posting, congratulations to Watch Hodl, who recently began on the news at the Entourage producer director Rob Weiss has signed onto their project. More info for Variety. Random post by Securitized, but you guys know we're keeping our eyes on them because of Tezos and Ripple's involvement with them. Dragon Chain has an interesting post as well. Shout out to the Dragon Chain community. The automotive industry requires scalability in order to fully adopt blockchain technology in a meaningful way. Dragon Chain solutions can be deployed on a massive scale without causing network congestion or unpredictable rising costs for your business. Do you have any NFTs, like NFTs that I've created or hodling NFTs? I've been making like passive NFTs through Gala, and then I have some Blankos NFTs, but I really don't have too many other NFTs just yet, my man. I'm more focused on collecting the tokens of the platforms that are allowing for NFTs to exist. So things like Render, things like Aleph.im, things like Akash, things like, you know, Iris very soon, Secret, Network, Cosmos Ecosystem, XRP Ledger, Flare Networks, Gala. I'm still into just buying cryptos right now. More, and if I get passive NFTs, cool. I'll hold along to those and just see what happens. So we got Bank for International Settlements here saying U.S. regulatory policy to control financial conditions can appear to be an attractive option for emerging market economies. However, doing so unilaterally ignores the cross-border impact of financial regulation. So let's check this out a little bit. We like keeping our eyes on the prize with what's going on with the BIS, the Bank for International Settlements. Just a quick abstract of the working papers right here. There are two main reasons for cross-border regulatory coordination. Firstly, there is a regulatory race to the bottom. This is a tendency to remove regulation in order to give domestic banks a competitive advantage. Secondly, there is an issue of leakages. Banks can bypass domestic regulations by setting up subsidiaries in place with laxer standards. This paper proposes a different mechanism in support of cross-border regulatory coordination. It focuses on the interplay between regulatory policies and global lending conditions. Lending conditions in emerging market economies, the periphery, are greatly impacted by external factors, including what happens in core economies. As a result, such lending conditions do not necessarily accord with the needs of the periphery. This can lead to inefficient allocation of credit. Regulatory policy can be can help to regain some control over lending conditions for Periphery. In practice, this means imposing controls on capital flows or imposing additional regulation on bank funding. However, such unilateral actions affect the core. The core responds by tightening its own policies. This partly offsets the benefits for the Periphery. So in their findings, policymakers can achieve better outcomes by setting regulatory policy cooperatively. They understand that tightening domestic regulations impose costs beyond their borders, and as a result, with cooperation, cross-border lending is higher and lending conditions are closer to those that accord with the needs of the Periphery. The median corporation gain is slightly above 1% at the global level. However, it is not symmetrical. It is about 0 in the core, but around 2% for the Periphery. Moreover, although coordinating lending conditions yields larger gains than coordinating regulatory policies, only gains resulting from the coordination of regulatory policies are positive for both regions. I have no clue what we just read there, you guys. Maybe some of you guys really understand the terms that they were using. I had a difficult time understanding that, but you guys know we try to keep up with what the BIS is saying, and sometimes it's a little bit out of reach of our understanding, but nonetheless, we share it with y'all. Oh, by the way, I love this guy. Altcoin Psycho is pretty funny. He goes, Akash deployment count? Probably nothing. Guys, this is insane. Since the launch in May, the deployment count went from hundreds to above 17,000 now deployed on Akash. Very excited for the future of this ecosystem. Still highly undervalued. All of this happening during a bear cycle for AKT. Very excited for the decentralized cloud network coming for Akash. Now currently at $3. My gosh, what a hell of a dip day for Akash. But if we can confirm a higher low right here than our previous low at around $2, then we could be in for some really good gains up ahead. But a lot of people just hate seeing red. They feel like their portfolio's down. They're not happy with what's going on with the price action. We'll see. We'll see. Because still, Akash hasn't really joined the party along with a lot of these other cryptos that have boosted up in this relief rally. There really hasn't been a major relief yet for AKT. And I think the longer it keeps going sideways, the more likely when it blows, goes towards the upside, the higher it's going to probably go. And we have like a goal for about $4.50 for Akash. So looking forward to what that price is going to be like. Ronye West, what's up, my dude? Good to see you. Bones TEP, Dragon Chain. Yeah, let's not sleep on Dragon Chain. I have a tiger in my tank. Nice. GDLT has a nice voice. Appreciate it. Guys, Gala back at 3 cents. Tremendous. We're back at the we're getting close to the previous high, which I really like to see right here for Gala. Apparently it's saying our all-time high was at around, oh, we just hit a new all-time high today. So Gala just hit a new all-time high today, you guys, at 44686. Tremendous. That is great to see coming out from the Gala community. Hopefully it's continuing its rise up towards the upside, and we start seeing a 5 cents, maybe a 10 cent Gala, which would be tremendous. Love running that Gala node and happy to be a part of that ecosystem and part of that community. Really awesome to be, one of the few who's going to probably have a Gala node accessible to them, because there's only going to be about 30,000 or so, or 50,000 or so, something like that. And then once they hit a certain price range, or once they sell all those Gala nodes being able to be NFTs on the NFT marketplace down the line. But we're still a long way to go. We're well past halfway, though, to the last Gala node being sold. But damn, man, it's been an awesome opportunity with Gala, without a doubt. Did I miss somebody's donation earlier, by the way? Mo Money in the house. What's up, Mo Money? Thanks for the $5 donation, my dude. Shout out to Mo Money. You're awesome, my man. And shout out to Legendary, dude. Thank you. Here's a fist bump to you, my man. Here we go. Fist bump. Fist bump. There we go. I'll give you a palm. I'll give you a high five. High five to Legendary. High five to Mo Money. High five to what's it called? G Money. High five to Bones TEP. You guys are awesome, man. Thank you guys for your support to the channel. I'm holding my AKT to Saturn as well, my dude. I'm still loving making that. I'm waiting for that percentage APY to go considerably lower. So that's going to happen over the years. So I'm very excited to see where AKT will be by like 2023, 2024, especially when it starts really getting incorporated with the Interledger protocol. Because really, a lot of this hinges on ILP being that value layer to the internet, right? Especially with the cryptos that we're invested in, because a lot of it is centered around Interledger protocol's success. So if Interledger protocol succeeds, hopefully the applications building on top of it, like the HBARs, like the XRPs, like XDC most likely, XLM, Akash, the Cosmos ecosystem utilizing it, it should have a major benefit on those applications. What's up, Tony O'Face? Good to see you, Tony O'Face. Thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for the support. So, guys, I want to show you a really quick, well, it's not a quick video, but it's going to take some time. But if you guys got the patience for it, I think it's very informative about, you know, talking about bank bail-ins. We were going to talk about this in the last video, but we never got to it. So we're going to get to it now. Check this out. This guy has got some pretty good opinions. I'd like to know what the Blue Crew thinks, though, for sure. I'm going to play it at a little bit faster of a speed at 125, just so we can get through it a little bit quickly and hopefully not get any copyright issues. But, you know, it's about a 19-minute video. I'm going to play this whole thing, you guys. So I understand if some Blue Crew members want to leave and whatnot, but I think it's very informative stuff. The title of it is Banks to Seize Your Money, Incoming Financial Crisis, warns David Morgan. Guys, this is a video talking about bank bail-ins, talking about the use of CBDCs, the craze going on with cryptos, NFTs, pursuing precious metals and whatnot. It's a really good just sum up of a lot of things. Let me see if we got anything else to give a shout out to. Oh yeah, remember when we read in the Royal Bank of Canada's little PDF talking about 3D printers? Guys, now Wagyu steak has been 3D printed. A lab-grown Wagyu steak, 3D printed. It's tasty lattice of fat, muscle, and blood vessels. My gosh, man. 3D printer is going to be the new microwave of your home. That's going to be crazy. We got Fed Payments Improvement talking about Silicon Valley Bank says many startups already have advanced technological capabilities in place to benefit from instant payments, but find themselves waiting for FIs, financial institutions to follow suit. Good discussions here from Hyperledger. Guys, I don't know if you guys have seen the preview to Star Atlas. You guys know we've been in on Star Atlas since very early days, and you know, really excited about Solana's delve into the blockchain gaming space. You guys got to check out this trailer before we get into that other video. So give me a second. Let me set this up. A little bit of ADD here, but it is what it is. All right, here, let me get to... There we go. Let me pause this. Sorry, Legendary, didn't mean to stop your song, my man. All right, let's get to... Check this video out, man. This is a crazy, crazy video. I'm going to go away for a second. All right, check this out. Sorry if I'm blowing your eardrums there, guys. Give me a sec.
Legend has it that somewhere on the other side of space is a diamond the size of a planet. And everyone is out to find it. So I guess it all comes down to one thing. Who'll find it first?
You gotta love seeing Solana and Serum right there with it, man. And that game looks pretty crazy, dude. I haven't seen an advertisement for a blockchain game that looks like a legitimate, you know, like looks like StarCraft 2.0 type of thing, like, or 3.0. I mean, like, it looks like some really good graphics that they're using from the Unreal Engine 5. and one of the first video games to be using that graphics engine. Really excited for this like open world space saga that they're creating here with Star Atlas and using Solana and having in-game currencies that are going to be using the Solana ecosystem. So this looks really cool to me. Sorry to blow your ears, though, with that stuff. But here, let's jump over to the Stransberry research video while we're at it. I'm going to just play it in the back, play it through. Hopefully you guys enjoy. I'm not going to try to blow your earbuds with this, but let me just see what your guys' input was for that Solana or that video right there that we just played. 3D. Oh, you saw it yesterday? David Morgan is the truth? Hell yeah, man. Yeah, I saw it. We were going to show it yesterday. Unfortunately, we didn't. Star Citizen, it has those vibes. Gala Games is coming out with Project X or Echoes of the Empire. Their sci-fi game. But man, Star Atlas looks a tiny bit better. But I do like the artwork that they're putting in on Echoes of the Empire, though. So some really cool games coming to the blockchain space without a doubt. But let's get into this, you guys. Yeah, you thought you were watching a movie trailer, right? It was really well done. More space propaganda. I hear you, Mr. Razul. That's very true. All right, let's get into this.
Hi, I'm Daniela Camboni, and welcome back to StansberryInvestor.com. My guest today says that get ready for a new banking crisis, but it's not like one that you may have in mind. Please welcome back to the show, David Morgan of the Morgan Report. David, good to see you. Thanks for joining us from your car.
Well, I am parked safe and sound, but yes. Pretty busy schedule, and we wanted to get this out to the public. So thank you.
Exactly. You were gracious enough to accept it. I said, we got to get you on. You said, I'm in my car. I'm like, I'll take it. And yes, for the folks back at home, David is safe, not driving. All right, let's talk business here. You've been very vocal lately about a banking crisis. Now, David, we know you as the silver guru. You don't really, talk outside of, silver a lot, but when you do, we have to pay attention here. I certainly did when you said that we are going to see another banking crisis, but this time it involves bail-ins. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, basically I do look at the big picture. I consider myself to have a macroeconomic view, and then silver is just a subset. But regardless, the bail-ins really bother me because after the last bailout, there's legislation passed in the Senate and House that it's illegal to do bailouts, which means bail-ins. And that's kind of gnawed at me for some time, Daniela. So I started looking at the very basics, the fundamentals. And one of the main fundamentals is what is money. And of course, there's theories about money. It's commodity money, which, most of your viewers are most familiar with, gold and silver, ancient times, voted by the people. And then there's like legal money, which is money's anything that we say it is, or money's anything that the government edicts or fiats. That's money. And then there's others. But the one that really hasn't got much recognition is the ownership theory of money. And the ownership theory of money resonates with almost everybody that's seen you in Stansberry, which means if you can't touch it, you don't own it. Very common sense, very logical. But we've never really applied that to the fiat system. So I started thinking about it more and more. And I really kind of had, I wouldn't say an epiphany, but something that really provoked me to ask Greg if we could explore this. And of course, it obviously resonated with you somewhat, because the idea that you have money in the bank, everyone takes for granted, but they don't read the fine print to realize they're an unsecured creditor. I'm talking about the United States now, an unsecured creditor to the bank. And it's really the bank's money, believe it or not. And what that means in a banking crisis, and let's say that there is a bail-in, then they have the right legally to take what you consider to be your money. So there's two thoughts on this. Number one is the ownership theory of money is you take out physical currency from your bank account, and you could do it in any way that's best for you. In other words, you don't have to withdraw your entire bank account in cash, but I would certainly consider owning some cash for a lot of various reasons, electronic failure, cyber attack, bank closure, terrorist act, who knows? I look more toward electrical problems with the grid, perhaps, or cyber attack is the main two that concern me. And the other part is that I didn't really say to Greg, and that's, if you have a large sum in the bank and you're really just getting acquainted with the precious metals, one of the easiest ways to move money, quote unquote money, is to move it via a check or a wire and take X amount from your account and move it into physical metal. And that's what a lot of savvy people have done over the years that have listened to you on Stansberry. It's like, look, I need some protection. I need some what we call monetary insurance, some wealth protection. And I've got a lot of cash, but I don't have any metals. So that's one way to do it. The other part, again, I'll give it back to you, Danielle, is does it make sense to take some cash out of the bank? And the answer is absolutely after the fact. I mean, once people wake up to the idea that, uh-oh, and just one more comment, it's kind of funny, but it isn't. And that's when we had the 2008 crisis. Guess who was running down to the ATMs? The Wall Streeters. Not the man on the street. The Wall Streeters knew what the heck was going on, scared to death, and worried about an ultimate collapse. And they were draining the ATMs at the time. So back to you.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions because I've known you for a very long time, and you're not one to just come out with warnings. So the fact that you had this epiphany is what really resonated with me or concerned me. And when you mentioned Greg, that was your conversation with Greg of USA Watchdog. So it did resonate with me, and I want to dig a little deeper here. So how much currency do you think is sitting in the banking system that can be tapped?
Probably about 1% of what the cover ratio is. In other words, the math shows about 5%. Half of that or more, 60% is overseas. So that drops you to about 2.5%. But of that 2.5%, I cut it in half again because half of the currency, the physical, you could touch it and own it, money, we'll call it, is in grocery stores, casinos, liquor stores, places of business that do cash business. So it's not in the bank. It's scattered out all over the United States in various businesses. So how much is actually in the bank when you, owning a bank account, go in there and say, hey, I've got 10,000 in this bank, I want it in cash. The chances of you getting it might be good. The next person, okay, and the third person, they're out of cash. I'm being a bit facetious, but you get the idea. It's a very, very small cover ratio.
I've been doing this for a very long time. I don't think I've ever seen a trend like this year where I have so many experts coming on, more and more people coming on telling me they're getting completely out of the banking system. So how, what's your exposure now, David, if you don't mind sharing? I know you mentioned you should have cash at home to make sure you can pay rent and whatever your basic expenses, but are you completely out of the system now?
I'm not. I have to have an account, the business account, to pay,
Right.
People that work with me. So not completely out, but no, I think there's really two methods here that most people are familiar with. One is the traditional privately held money, gold and silver. And the other, of course, it's been at the forefront for some time now, and that's the crypto world. So between the crypto world and gold and silver, there are a lot of people that have opted out. I mean, I don't know Michael Saylor personally, but obviously a smart guy, and the guy that is pretty much on the Bitcoin baptized system, which is a way to take large sums of money outside of the system and secure it. And more people, again, are waking up. I'm not as favorable to the crypto world as some. I'm more favorable to the traditional method of physical metal. But nonetheless, I think it could be overexposed. And I don't want to scare anybody. I did an update for my paid members last night, Danielle. I'll just share a little bit of it. This is an educated guess. If a bail-in is to occur, I think it would go along the lines of everything that's guaranteed by the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, will be left alone. And for U.S. people, that is $250,000. So that's a fairly good sum of money. It's a pretty tidy sum. Most Americans don't have that sum, and some have more than that. So the bail-in would likely go, anything above $250,000 gets bailed in, and anything below that isn't touched. So that's my take on it. David said it. Does that make it true? No. That's my idea about it. But I want to keep people calm. I don't want people to think they've got, $12,827 in the bank, and during the bail-in, it's all going to blow away. It won't. I'm 99% sure it won't. But for those that got to me in March, and going back to the start of the illness, Daniela, if I could digress just for a moment to make a very important point. A lot of people called me in March 2020, a lot for this caliber of person. David, I've got $1 million in the bank. David, I've got $2 million in the bank. David, I've got $4 million in the bank. I have never bought gold. I'm very concerned. How do I do it? I'm brand new. I don't want to make a mistake. Can you help me out? Never had that quantity of people in that position during 1 month period in my life call me up and say, I'm really concerned about how much money I have in the bank. I want to do something about it. Can you help me?
I can second that. I've been getting a lot more calls about that too. People new to the precious metals and don't know how to start or buy. And I'm not an advisor like you are, David, but hopefully I can help point people in the right direction. That said, when you say it's not that your money will just disappear, I guess when you're talking about a bail-in, what I imagined when I first heard about your reservations is that you just won't have access to your cash. Is it frozen in this scenario for you?
I think that's the most likely scenario. I do that based on historical precedents. If you go to Argentina, for example, Daniela, what you find is that the accounts were there, you didn't lose a dime, but your access to it was limited. So for an example, you had $1 million in the bank, but you're only able to withdraw 300 per week. So, wow, what if your expenses are 5,000 a month and you're only able to get 1,200 a month? What happens then? So this is the kind of things that really concern me.
So let's take it one step further here. With all the talk about central bank digital currencies, and we've been talking about it a lot here on StansberryInvestor.com, does it eliminate that risk? Is that why central banks are moving in that direction?
You can make that argument. The other side of that coin is, do you accept peer-to-peer? In other words, someone is owed currency, they're not familiar with Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, and the person's willing to make good on their debt in a cryptocurrency, but the receiving party doesn't really know how to accept or whatever, which isn't that hard. I mean, you can get a wallet, someone can talk them through it, and they can accept it. But, you know, in a contract basis, there has to be agreement on both parties. And I can see a situation, I'm just being taking the negative side of it right now, could be difficult in some instances. But that is a way, or, you know, out. I mean, there's a big fight going on. I mean, it's pretty clear that the DeFi, the decentralized finance block, is getting, they're really having an issue because of the central banks coming in with their cohorts in the regulatory bodies and say, we got to regulate these things. And they're seeing more and more regulation. Plus, just one step further, give me feedback. It's what's a security and what isn't. And, you know, I'm pretty well versed in the legal aspects, not a lawyer, but I've been in the field and I study pretty hard, that a lot of these things you can make the argument are securities, which puts it under a whole different jurisdiction or a different body of governance than most people are aware of.
Let me ask you this, David. Comparing it to 08, what you envision, again, this is David's theories, David's thoughts. What's the straw that breaks the camel's back here? Well,
it's the amount of currency that people are aware of. It's a psychological phenomenon more than a math issue. But with the reverse repo being in like the $1 trillion range, having to suck money in and out of the system every night, the amount that the government of the United States and others that are following that are inflating at an unbelievably unprecedented rate, and still the U.S. still remaining pretty much the strongest currency and the most trusted. It's when the trust, confidence in that breaks, and it's breaking as we speak, is when you're going to see these problems. And one of the solutions that is at law is a bail-in. Whether or not it will take place or not, I do not know. What I do know is it's my duty, my moral obligation to warn people how I see it, and whether they agree with me or not, that's their choice.
And I had a very in-depth conversation with George Gammon recently about reverse repo. So if the folks out there are interested, I urge everyone to check out that interview. My final, well, second to last question for you, David. Why are you more concerned now than 2 years ago? Is it because of the liquidity that's in the system now that's way more than 2 years ago? Or why the epiphany now?
Feedback, paying attention to what's called sentiment. It's the amount of people that have awakened to the truth that you can't print yourself wealthy, to the fact that there's something drastically wrong with the financial system. It's broken and it has no real relationship to the physical economy. So the economy is what we do to eat, to live, to build, to grow, all those things that are physically tangible to the human experience. The financial markets are supposed to reflect the actual economy, and it does not. You keep seeing a stronger and stronger number in the stock market, but that would indicate if they were correlated to one of the best economic situations ever. And it's not. We have people that are hungry. We have people that are unemployed. We have people that have lost their businesses. We have people that are struggling. We have people looking for a second job to put food on the table. So there is absolutely no correlation. This upsets me greatly. And so again, it's my duty. I mean, I feel like I've been called to the business I'm in, and I get to say that. That's how I feel about it very strongly, and that it's important. And to thank you for asking me to come on and give this message out. Again, I'm the messenger. The message is pretty clear. Something's drastically wrong, and what do you want to do about it? And I'm just giving you that message. It's up to you to, accept it, deny it, or think about it.
Really well said. Last point, on your point about owning gold and silver. It's not just for a bail-in situation, but you've been writing a lot about how there's probably the best protection in these inflationary times. If you could just talk a little bit about that.
I think one of the main things that have been lost among, especially the precious metals people, is what the function of gold especially is and what it's done. The subset of the Morgan Report is to build and preserve wealth. Gold has preserved wealth. From 2000 to present day, gold has had a compounded annual rate of growth of 10% per year. So it has maintained wealth. How can I say that with authority? If you go to shadowstats.com and you look at the true inflation rate, it's been about 9% a year. So gold's function to preserve your wealth, not make you wealthy, but to preserve your wealth, has been stellar over a 20-year period. But most gold bugs, and maybe I'm guilty of it, have been waiting for the big explosion. When's gold going to 10,000? And it probably will, because there's going to be an overreaction to the demise of the current financial system. So gold will react or maybe overreact. But as far as has it done its job, it has. Silver hasn't been too bad either. On the same metrics, a compounded annual rate of return of silver is about 9%, which matches the inflation rate. Now, silver is more volatile, and it's also a smaller market. So in the event that we get this explosion in gold, we'll see silver really explode in my study view, because there's so many people that at the last minute will buy it no matter what the paper price is, because they feel that the currency is going to fail. And so if it's 50 or 60 or 70 or $100 silver, they're very willing to pay that, because they're worried that we're going the way of Zimbabwe and the currency is going to have no value. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the idea of it happening will take hold to some of the populace that will take action. And I think before it's worth zero, we'll see a reenactment of another financial system. And I think it'll be, right now, the best guess would be the SDR, because that's what's coming to the fore right now. Special drawing rights are going to be pervasive here pretty soon. And if that step doesn't work, then you could see a central bank digital currency.
It looks like it's coming sooner than later, and I'm happy. Well, on the note about silver, you saw what people were willing to pay on premiums earlier this year.
Yeah, that's a foretell of what the silver market's really capable of. I mean, I don't like to see people pay high premiums, but the market's the market, and if you've got to pay a high premium to get silver, people are willing to do it.
And I'm happy you mentioned that about gold, because just yesterday I was, debating with someone on Twitter. I got a lot of emails like you do, David, saying, I'm so disillusioned. I'm expecting more from gold. And my answer, was really, well, what were your expectations? What were you expecting gold to do, and what has it not done? And like you said, it's not at that 5,000 or 2,000 price yet as we speak. But like you said, it has done its job.
Done its job.
David Morgan of the Morgan Report, thank you so much for joining me from your car. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure, Daniel.
All righty. So yeah, hopefully that was informative to you guys. Hopefully it was entertaining to you guys, and just like spurred some thought, considerations about, we like precious metals as well on this channel, as well as crypto. We do believe there will be a harmony between the two somewhere down the line, but we keep our eyes on the prize. And good hearing from David Morgan, possibly foreshadowing, worries about a, cyber attack in the future, the collapse of the traditional financial system, maybe being around the corner, gold being severely undervalued currently. So, and then the talk of CBDCs and the advent of central bank digital currencies, and what that's going to be doing to the economy as well. So just a very interesting perspective here coming from David Morgan. But anyways, guys, give me a sec. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another DL Talk. I appreciate y'all. Thanks for the almost 30 likes in the stream. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Please stay tuned for some shorts and highlights from this video. Always good hanging out with the Blue Crew, guys. Thanks once again to G Money, Legendary, Bones TEP, and Mo Money. You guys are amazing. Thanks for your support to the channel. It means a lot. And guys, thanks to the whole Blue Crew tuning in for this one. This was a fun live stream. Once again, stay tuned for the shorts, and thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, BTC community, XRP community, DLT community, crypto community, Blue Crew, and all the communities out there. The future is distributed ledger technology, and the future is bright. Our future is bright. Much love, Blue Crew. Adios.